quite a thing that we can try. And we did some work. So that's just the wash and everything. It's a time that they have been found that they're having us. But I would say that it's still as I was not about to treat that deep with a guy who did God. So that's just right. I'm thinking of great everyone's out the color of the tuning, no, and yet it's right. It's my future. I then even then the kids in. This is quite out from things evidence. I'm with my two is parallel to my show. So I know that I'm like, it's like always, it's you know, if I just saw it, it's a very team of gold. That's got to be good. See, thank you. Why aren't we working together? Well, freaking name. That is
all right, everybody, are we ready for a Sailor Moon panel? You guys got the energy today, I like it. Where are my Magical Girl fans out here? I see ya. All right, anything in Puppy Cat? No? Well, I like it. Oh, I see you. All right. I'll give it out. All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to bring up our voice actor, the voice of 90s Sailor Moon, Terry Hawks. Let me get your light for me. It's a bit of travel business.
I should swim this, and I horse it, horse. Why, you're hanging in there through a very hectic weekend, so thank you all for sticking around and saying hi.
It's right. It's a, you know, we're here in Orlando, very hot.
Except in here.
Yeah.
Not so hot.
It's nice. Yeah, well, I guess it's a little cold.
You know, at my body temperature caught yours. I'm a little chilly then. Here you are in shorts. First of all, right?
I run hot. I run hot. Yeah, I run to the pit. All right, well, it's great to see you. You're having a good day today.
Having a really nice day. Having actually visited people a little bit more calmer today and yesterday.
That's right.
I always like our chat.
Yeah, a few less concerts today. But we're still Jason Page.
That's true.
That's right. What are you going to sing one day? No, I'm just kidding. Well,
so you're in the very distant future, Joyce.
Okay.
Very.
Never mind. You're a little Sailor Moon karaoke.
I'm sure. In a group. I would join a group.
Okay. I'll
clean up and feel better so much than me, where you're not there than Terry's food.
It's hard to beat her. She's got that train.
She's good.
Plus, we can her many talents. You know, from Sailor Moon to Toast to Mr. Science on Lady to Secret Society, you've taken on roles that have backed women for generations. What most might not know about you is that you're in the writer's room as well. So what began your writing journey?
Thank you for asking. I was spending a lot of time writing these stories, and I started that journey quite a few years ago, in the middle of my acting career. And what started it? You know, I was thinking back to some of the earlier animation projects that I did before Sailor Moon, and I was always the actor that probably really annoyed the director and the producer, because I'd read the scripts and I'd go, oh, I'm not so sure the punch was saying that. But really, what's the problem? And I would, and I'm not going to name the names of the shows, but for example, there was one I was really concerned about. There was a storyline where I thought there was an emphasis on unhealthy eating and might, you know, trigger eating disorders or something like that. So I would always speak up about things that were concerning to me, because I feel like as part of the team, I have a big responsibility to the audience. And obviously with a lot of animation, the audience is very young and it's a time in their lives when they're developing. So I was that actor who was always questioning what was in front of me. And a lot of producers and directors really like the kind of an actor who just reads and doesn't question, because things move along a little faster. So at some point, I can't tell you exactly when, but it occurred to me that maybe to tell the stories I wanted to tell, or to share the messages or the values I wanted to share, maybe I needed to start writing myself. So then I started taking parts to see so.
Oh, okay. And so, class-wise, did you end up attending like a university for that, or you know, to workshops online, or what? It's been not like back then, but it's
well, since then I have, yeah. So So I grew up in Canada, in Calgary. I moved to Toronto, which is kind of the center for English-speaking theatre, film, television. And I think I probably took a writing class there at the Tarragon Theatre. So I started by taking a yoga class here and there at theatres, and then moved to New York to study at the HP studio with Carol Rosenfeld and Peter Hobbit, who were acting teachers. But I took some writing courses there. And then I decided I wanted to work in television a little bit more than theater. I moved to LA, and that was my biggest training because I was accepted into UCLA's theater, film, and television master's program playwriting. So then I stuck around for an extra year to study screenwriting. And then I was lucky enough to get a really good job right out of that. Right after that degree, I was hired to adapt a novel called At the Book of Eve, and I adapted it into a feature screenplay, and it was produced. Which was really exciting.
Yeah, that's a great
And I'm
first
loving
one. Oh my gosh. And so since then, you have gotten to join your latest project here, which is Lady Ada's Secret Society. I'm going to throw up the graphic for that.
Oh, thank you.
So there it is. Muscle
Rating.
Like the template.
We also have, I think we have a flyer for it somewhere around here. So why don't we, I can set it up in the front here if you guys want to come up and screenshot it, whatever you want to do. There's a QR code there. And that's a web series. You want to talk about that a little bit, and then we can take a look at a sneak peek of it, perhaps.
Thank you. Okay, so years ago I had a mentee, a student from York University in Toronto who helped me on an editing project. And cut to, 15 years later, she phoned me up and she said, I've written a series. And I'd really like you to play a role in it. And I loved her, I still love her. And so I said, yes. And then I said, please send me the script. And luckily, I loved the script too. So the script was for Lady Ada's Secret Society. The creator and showrunner, his name is Shannon Fustor, and she's a dear friend. And the role she wrote for me was this role of a headmistress, Mrs. Vine. And the premise of the story is there's a girls' school where the girls are dissuaded, discouraged from studying all STEM subjects, science, math, technology, engineering, and yet they go to this school where they have to study what the headmistress wants them to study, which is manners and how things along those very traditional lines. But the girls are smarter than their headmistress, so they form an underground society, which they name after Lady Ada Byron Lovelace, who is credited with inventing programming for the computer. And in their secret society clubhouse, they use their science skills to create master plans to play pranks on the rest of the student body. And their headmistress tries to thwart them at every turn, so there's a lot of fun folk here. So we finished season 1. Shannon wrote all the episodes. They're short episodes designed for preteens mostly, but I know a lot of teenagers and adults who really enjoy this too. We're 10 minutes long, 9 episodes. And we had a lot of success with season 1, lots of awards and things, and that led to season 2. And now, a couple of years after season 1, my friend Shannon has a cute little toddler running around. And I asked her if she might want some help with the writing. And she, I think, really kind of wanted to handle it herself because it was her baby, which I understood. I'm just saying it's her physical baby, but another kind of baby. And she put together a writer's room for this series for season 2, which was really exciting to me because it's what I want to be doing a lot more of, is working in a room with other writers, going away, writing on your own, and then coming back and exchanging scripts and receiving feedback, getting feedback. And the 2 other people that were in the writer's room beside Shannon and me are 2 of the other actors. Well, it's hard to tell them.
That's an example.
Glenna Walters and Claire Keat. And Glenna Walters does a lot of improv. She's very young. They're older than their characters, but still pretty young, early 20s. Glenna does a lot of improv. So Shannon brought her in as a story consultant for the comedic elements of the story. And Claire Keat has been writing and directing her own short projects. So Claire was brought in to write as well. So the four of us met in a writer's room once a week for many hours and worked on the structure of the season and the different scripts. And then some of us were sent away to write a script and bring it back, and we critiqued that and learned from each other. And it was really a beautiful experience. It was fabulous.
What a beautiful team. That's awesome. What a little labor of love.
Absolutely.
Whatever everyone's hands on. So, well, why don't we give you guys a sneak peek? Let's take a look at the first trailer for Lady Ada's.
Welcome to Lady Boring's Academy of Traditional Wisdom for Young Ladies.
You should have read that this is a technology-free boarding school. Wait, what? It is my duty to ensure that you girls leave this school as charming young ladies.
Get out of our bathroom or I'll beat you to my cat! Can I go back in time? Is it VR simulation Matrix glitch?
Just an old school that decided to cling to tradition instead of embracing how amazing the future can be. Welcome to Lady Ada's Secret Society. Secret societies have rules.
The best ideas are the craziest ones.
Eva!
If it doesn't exist, invent it. Always stick up for your friends.
She treat the rest of you like that?
She who codes is queen.
Ava's been compromised.
No panic, but that's the obvious thing to do right now. I need a paper bag!
Be brave.
If you really like him, go ask him out. You can't know what to say. What if I mess it up? It's a conversation, not rocket science. I'd rather do rocket science.
If you're all unhappy here, why not transfer?
We have a vendetta to settle. Pine uses this school as a cure for girls who are addicted to technology. She is condemning us to a life in the past, and she must be stopped. She will never take my video games! Nah, wasn't mounting anyways.
Okay, Beverly, can you stop?
Oh my god, please stop.
Oh my goodness.
These young actors are so talented. Such a pleasure. I don't know if some of you might know, I think it's still on Netflix. And with an E. So it's based on Anne of Green Gables, which is a Canadian novel for youth that Canadians are very proud of. It's an iconic story. Anyway, two of these actors are in Anthony. So Glenna Walters, who I told you is in the writer's room, and Ella Jonas Farmer. So they're in Anthony, if you watch Anthony. They're very experienced young actors, all of them, and it's such a pleasure to work with.
And it shows. They're fantastic. And I hear that this show and you and part of the cast and of course writers have taken away a couple of awards, it sounds like. And so what I hear is that the creator was nominated for 2 writing awards. It's been nominated for the LA Webcast Award, and that was you for any actress, supporting actress?
Supporting actress at LA Webcast, yeah. But some of the other, we've been nominated also for Best Ensemble, and one, I think, yes, at the Toronto Webcast Best Ensemble, and I think New Zealand Best Ensemble. It's been nominated for Shannon Fuster's writing, for Best Series. Samantha Wan is the director. Some more individual acting nominations. We're really proud of it, and we're really pleased that we just finished shooting season 2.
Ooh, okay. So more Terry Fox content's coming, guys. Go check out season 1 because season 2 is on its way.
July. Ooh, July just coming fast.
Can we get a little hint at when maybe the trailer might drop?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Actually, Shannon is back in Toronto working on editing right now with the editor and Samantha Lund, the director. I don't know when the trailer goes off, but I'm pretty sure that you will see new episodes come July. And I don't really want to give too much away, but what I will say is one of the reasons I love this series is it's a comedy, but through the prism of comedy, we had the opportunity to examine what I think are some really important social issues. So you might gather from the first one, there's a lot of talk about how there have been barriers for women wanting to go into the sciences, all the STEM subjects. And in season 1, I will say that there are a couple of young men who go to a boys' school of technology across the street, and they supply some of their technology equipment and so on to the girls for their pranks. So there are these relationships that are set up with the boys over there, and we may not see a little bit more of those characters, and maybe or maybe not a few others in season 2. So that's just to pique your interest. So lots of discussion about gender, about friendship, about love, about bullying, about these preconceived notions of who's allowed to study what and who should study what. And so I'm really proud of the series because I think it does that with a light touch. It gives people the opportunity to walk away thinking and hopefully laughing at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And that's a big passion of yours. It shows with your writing and whatnot. And, you know, the characters that you play with the Sailor Moon, I mean, very, very queer representation there. Lots of female characters, of course. Same with Toast, you know, she's fluid or bisexual. She understands squatting. And that's very important to you in swimming like that.
Absolutely.
And that means so much to me. I just know it. And so I'm going to throw it over to everybody in just a minute here, but we wanted to give a shout out to you for one more thing. It looks like you won Sydney Women's International Festival for Best Pilot Award. You were a pilot.
Yes, I wrote a TV pilot, so it's not been produced yet, but that was a nice little nod and a nice little support. So it's called Fantasy Revenge Inc. And I was hoping prepared to tell you what it's about, but basically, you know what? In a sense, it's a little bit like Sailor Moon and Lady Gaga. It's about friendship, but middle-aged friendship, and how we support each other as we go through different transitions and challenges in life. And in particular, Fantasy Revenge Inc. is about middle-aged women supporting each other through marital crises and using their skills as amateur thespians, actors in a community theater company to create fantasy revenges that help them work through some of their issues. So once again, it's a comedy, hopefully exploring some important social issues, and I've aged up a bit myself as well as in my writing. So I like writing stories about middle-aged women who have had some life experience and have most of us generally been knocked down in one way or another, and find the resilience and the strength to get up and keep going, preferably with the support of friends and loved ones, and some inner understanding and resilience.
That's beautiful. That's demographic that this really means more great representation. I mean, there's not a lot out there aimed towards older women, just middle-aged women. You know, it feels like it cuts off at like 22. So
Absolutely. I think there's lots of room for these stories and very rich stories as we continue to live our lives and have more experiences that we can share, and hopefully share a little experience and strength and hope and based on our journeys. So thanks to it.
all right, of course, anytime. Oh, anything for Dean's there. All right, come on up to the mic. We got about 10 minutes for questions here.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks. I get to see you at least twice today.
Yes, it's great. Nice to see you too. My one question is, throughout the Sailor Moon series, what was your favorite outfit of all time?
Oh, my outfit. Okay. I have to say that I didn't know until recently that Naoki Takeuchi, who created Sailor Moon, in addition to her many skills and that she studied medicine and astronomy and just her list of credits, that she's also quite knowledgeable around design and fashion. And I, Terry Hawks, am not. So I don't know if I can tell you my favorite Sailor Moon costume. I mean, this is iconic, right? This is what I think about when I'm thinking of Sailor Moon. And I will tell you this, like a little anecdote. Someone asked me today, when did you kind of sense that Sailor Moon was becoming this kind of big thing on the zeitgeist? And I said, I remember exactly when it was. I don't remember the year, but I remember the circumstances. My mother, Joanne Hawks, who has passed away, lived in Calgary, Alberta, and I was in Toronto. And she got me into community theater when I was a kid. So she loved dressing up herself at Halloween. And her favorite costume is she get dressed up in an old flannel nightgown. The cold came all over her face, like a little granny hat. And the kids would knock on the door, and she'd open up. She'd say, "What? I'm trying to sleep." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa." She'd go, "Trick or treat." So she had fun with the neighborhood kids. But this one Halloween, she phoned me up on Halloween, and I was like, okay, Mom, what did you do this year? She said, no, I want to tell you something. There are all these little Sailor Scouts at the front door. I said, and what do you say to them? She says, I say I'm Sailor Moon's mom. And they all kind of look at her like, okay, we'll see you again next year. But that's when I knew, like, it was such a surprise to me. So that was, I don't know, very end of the 1990s or early 2000s, but that's when I knew. And so, to your point, that's how they were dressed. So that would be my answer. Her iconic outfit. What about you? Do you have a favorite outfit that I'm not thinking of?
I have so many of them. I think the one that I really liked was Wicked Lady. I remember her name was Black Lady in the manga. But I loved her outfit, the whole black velvet dress that kind of has like that red feature.
Very sophisticated for a 14-year-old, right?
I love her. I just only have one more thing to say. Could you say the fifth iconic line Sailor Moon says in your voice?
Sure. She might say something like, be kind to each other, Sailor Moon says.
Thank you so very much.
My pleasure, and then sort of was
And your outfit's killer too.
absolutely. Bye.
I don't have a question necessarily. I really like Toast, and I feel that you bring a lot of power and courage to an otherwise kind of silly character. So I heard you were coming, and I drew a toast for you, and I'll give it to them if that's okay.
Wait, I can come get it. I got you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning it. For those of you who don't know, Toast is a character in Bee and the Puppy Cat, which you can find on Netflix. And Toast is a pretty interesting character. She's a wrestler slash boxer. She's queer. As Trish said, she has a wife. She's pregnant. She fights while she's very pregnant, which may not be advisable. She's bombastic. She kind of breaks through walls, but you know what sort of? So I think of her as this. That she's sort of a villain, but she's like a benign villain. But the creator of Bee and Puppy Cat, Natasha Allegri.
Yes.
Huge for baby. Very cute. That's beautiful. That's really great. Thank you so much. The creator of Bee and Puppy Cat, Natasha Allegri, invited me to play Toast based on Natasha's love of Sailor Moon. So I think that's really cool. But then maybe somewhat alarming that she saw characteristics in Sailor Moon that she might have seen in Toast as well. So I don't know. But Toast, yes, Toast is kind of a villain who has captured my heart. Thank you. Thanks for bringing her up, and thank you for your beautiful drawing. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Voicing a great character.
My pleasure.
Excellent. Just letting you know, you with the gray shirt in the back, I see you right there. You're the last person. Go ahead. Come on.
Come on.
Just cutting off the line there.
Hi Terry, thank you so much for coming to Collecticon.
Let's say.
I discovered Sailor Moon when I was like 7 or 8, and the first thing I watched was the Sailor Moon movie, Hearts and Ice. Yeah, the Sailor Moon S movie, and you were in it. So I have a question for you. My question is,
I'm getting nervous.
what are some qualities or traits that you have in common with Sailor Moon?
Oh, it's a beautiful question. I thought you were going to ask me for some detail about the movie that I recorded 20 years ago, and that made me nervous. You know what I say sometimes is I really appreciate that Serena, in particular, Serena Sailor Moon, has qualities that are less than perfect, imperfections. I'm thinking of Serena being a bit of a klutz. Terry can be a bit of a klutz sometimes. Or maybe taking on too much and being a little bit scatterbrained about where she needs to be when, and thus being late for school.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But what I think is that she learns from her experience. And she also is open to accepting her shortcomings and picking herself up, just like the middle-aged women I've talked about, and garnering her courage and bringing her friends around her and supporting them, and they support her, and she keeps going on. So, you know, having lived a few more years now since I recorded this series, I would say that my experience is that different stages in life often bring different challenges, and having good friends to support you and finding the inner strength and resilience to get up and keep going forward are things that I would like to think that I might share with Stanley. Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Big Relic fan.
Good comment.
Andrew here.
Hi, Andrew.
The drawing in the background, is there any part of the world you've been to where you get the influence for that artistry from? Because it reminds me a lot of the Scandinavian Alps. Is there like anything that draws an influence from this? Where do you get that it?
Beautiful. Well, I did not draw that, but I have to tell you, I grew up in Calgary, Alberta, just in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and those mountains are in my soul. So I love those mountains, and this does remind me of the foothills in Calgary, and then Kananaskis, and then the Banff Rocky Mountains. I don't know if you've ever been, but I offer it as a suggestion to anyone who's interested in traveling to that area of the world.
Well, I've only been to Toronto and Florida, Canada, but just the outline of that, it looks a lot like the Swedish Alps.
It sounds like you've spent some time there.
I know a lot about Scandinavian culture, that's all. So I know a lot about the geography, it just looks a lot like that.
I think there are probably a lot of similarities between the Rockies and the Alps, and I don't know. Well, I'm assuming that
I bought it
from
from
the
a
original
pixel artist.
Did you do
I'll ask the. No, I didn't do it. I bought it from a pixel artist. I'm not that talented. I'll ask about though.
Very nice. She's the expert on this.
I made the graphic.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Trust.
thank you. Yeah, well,
I would have thrown
I cut myself
to
out.
you.
That was a photo shoot I did at a lake near my house, and I was pointing at things.
And that would be in Washington State.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Washington. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Listen, I learned something more.
Sweet. I feel validated.
Hi,
Oh, hi again.
Mike.
Hi. I just wanted to know, like, actually, how did getting the role of Sailor Moon come about? Like, how did it all begin?
Well, how did the role of Sailor Moon? How much time do I have, Tris?
We got about 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. The 2-minute version. Well, I'm going to save a half a minute at least. So, an audition in Toronto. I had 2 young friends from Calgary visiting me. I got a call from my agent. I have an audition. I said, okay, let me know when it is. She said, now. I said, no, I'm taking my young friends to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But instead, we went to the audition. And then we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And then I got another phone call from my agent saying, you got the job. I said, well, that's great. Let me know when we start. She said, now? I said, no, I've got my young friends from Melbourne at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Anyway, my young friends, Russell and Phil, came with me. I recorded the first episode that night, and we brainstormed after that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
That's hilarious. Great Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Terry, I appreciate it. And, you know, sorry if I confused you with the other person that you had at your booth there. But, you know, just bring it to the point. What was your favorite episode of Sailor Moon and why?
Thank you. I can't really pick my favorite episode. It'd be like picking my favorite child. But I will share with you that some of my favorite recording sessions were with the other Sailor Scouts, because those actors were top-notch. So some of the top voice actors in Canada, really fun to work with, really inspiring each other, and I really enjoyed those group sessions when I was in the recording studio with them.
Well, great to see you, and as always, great fan of the series.
Thank you. I love your energy. You hold on to that. Thank you so much.
An incredibly spirited crowd today. You guys have had a great attitude. We just thank you. Let's hear it for you guys.
All right.
Clap for yourselves.
Thank you everyone for coming and sticking around, and really appreciate your presence here.
That's right. All right. That's all we have for you, Terry. Thank you so much for coming on.
And Chris, awesome, eh? Thank you.
Thank you.